Well, come on home.
Oh, yeah.
Home is wherever I'm with you.
Emma, to start with you, how did you feel when you first learned the story for this season would be that Rhaenyra would regain power, but what she would kind of struggle to impress when she first got there?
Well, I suppose I thought that's quite an honest rendering of starting a new job. I think it's hard to walk into the role of CEO and sort of nail it immediately.
Don't change too much.
Well, quite. And as with like taking over any office, it's only when you get in there that you learn, you know, the state of, for example, the finances and, you know, whatever. And so I think there's something quite, you know, pragmatic and true to life about that rendering. I think there's also something kind of interesting to me about finally achieving a goal, an aim, an ambition, and actually that moment of attainment causing a kind of identity crisis. I think Rhaenyra feels incredibly unstable in her tenure. I think in truth, probably that feeling of instability it may just be the work of grief. And she sort of looks for mechanisms within the court to kind of to remedy a feeling that actually is about a different loss of control. But yeah.
Yeah, and Matt, Rhaenyra, we see her struggle to kill Otto emotionally and physically, but Daemon's commitment to her doesn't seem to fade at all in that moment. Would you agree with that, and can you explain why that is?
I don't think his commitment to Rhaenyra has ever faded. Perhaps it has in the eyes of others, but to my eye, deep down, I think he's always known there's this umbilical tie that will never fade and never change in his mind. And why? Well, I think he knows that it's a big political statement, and it sort of moves the needle in the right direction for where we need to go, for what we need to do.
For both of you, how did Damon and Rhaenyra feel walking through the halls of the Red Keep again when they finally arrived?
What's that song by Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros? Have you heard that?
I don't know.
Home, well, come on home.
Oh, yeah.
Home is wherever I'm with you. I don't know, man. Just back on the mothership, man.
Yeah.
You better get out of our way, otherwise we're gonna. I think that's how they felt. Well, that's how I felt anyway.
No, it was nice. It was exciting. It was nice. It was nice to be back at the sort of heart of things. That set is the heart of things. Also, it's sort of the heart of the production. So there is an energy to getting back there and. Yeah, leaving the sort of satellite of Dragonstone.
And take down their shite wall hangings and all the rubbish paraphernalia that they've got dotted around the greens. No taste.
Yeah. Yeah, and at the end of episode 2, Rhaenyra's back on the Iron Throne. What can you both say about how killing Otto to get there might impact Damon and Rhaenyra's relationship with Alicent, who literally opened the door for this victory for them?
I mean,
I don't think Damon really cares, although I really want a scene with Alicent. I'm campaigning for a scene.
One?
No, give me a scene. I think there's a really interesting scene to be had there.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted Rhaenyra to kind of be stripped of her adulthood by the time she reached the throne. She sort of finds herself in this position where she's required to execute her father's former best friend. I think when someone has sort of known you from your childhood, I think it's very hard to kind of retain the jacket of your adult self. And again, when she sort of sees herself via Alicent's POV, there's something of the two of them being children. I mean, this is also the court in which they grew up, and the whole timeline, I guess, is kind of laid bare between them. I think in that look, I think it's probably immediately evident that Rhaenyra's action is probably insurmountable in their relationship. I would guess that that's sort of immediately evident, but it's tricky when you want to be seen as a person who is sort of in control and in a position of power, but you are kind of known too intimately by someone. I wanted her to feel kind of uncomfortably revealed in what is a very public forum.
Bethany, why does Baela follow him? She seems very loyal to Rhaenyra. Does she have similar feelings as Jace does about this?
No, actually. I think she knows this is a really stupid thing to do. And I think she loves Jace so much. and that his conviction in trying to explain his reasons for going convinced her just enough to sort of cloud her judgment. I think she knew from the off that this was too big for them. And as proud as she is of, you know, their training and their dragon riding abilities, I think she can see very clearly that those dragons are a lot bigger than theirs and that they've got a lot more years of experience. And that's just thinking about the dragons that they know of and are aware of, let alone any others that might have, you know, appeared. And so I think she knew that this was too big for them. But his conviction was just so compelling. And she loves him so much that the thought of him going alone was worse than the thought of her not joining him. So she went.
And thank God you did, because who would have recovered my body?
It's so sad. Her flying him back.
It's so
flying him back is so sad. Goodness.
And it was horrendous. It was horrendous.
Yeah.
Do you know how, I felt so motion sick that day, by the way, because I was laying down on the buck.
Oh yeah,
I was actually
I wonder if
on
people
the saddle.
will not know that we actually shot it like that.
Yeah.
Like Harry was on the book
Folded over.
with me.
And
I was wondering.
It was that all day with my eyes closed, and I was
Yeah.
like, "This is getting me. I'm feeling really sick here."
Yeah, we've not said that to anyone.
No,
We've
I know.
not
I
spoken
forgot.
about that.
I just remembered
'Cause
it now.
Normally, you're on the book totally by yourself.
Yeah.
So we shoot all of that separately, and the irony of the first day we got to be together was when Harry was dead, because it was him on the book, and they just thought it would look more realistic, and
Yeah.
it did. But
Yeah.
crazy that we've not said that.
Yeah, Bethany, how did that impact your performance in that, to really have
Oh,
him
it
there
helped
with you?
so much. It helped so much. And even in the scenes of bringing his body home and bringing him back to Rhaenyra, having real Harry, they hadn't told me they were going to do that.
Real Harry.
They told me that it was going to be a dummy. I think because they sort of what Claire wanted to see that emotional reaction from it being real Harry. And God, did it work. It was just the most insane experience. And also, you know, to sort of be grieving your castmate who you've worked with for 5 years and knowing that this is the last time you're going to do this show together, and then also be playing your character who's like grieving the loss of her betrothed was just so overwhelming. And hopefully it reads like that on screen.
So how might Rhaenyra taking the throne change how he's feeling?
Yeah, I mean, it certainly will change how he's feeling. But he's already fighting that fight anyway. So the journey still, you know, the objective still remains the same, albeit the obstacles are different over the course of the season.
Fabian, Kristen wanted the Hightowers to win the war because, as you say, he's committed to Alicent. But now does he just want it all to end by any means necessary?
Yeah, I think the idea of leaving and going somewhere else is a very appealing one to him. But I don't know that that's really an opportunity that he's ever going to be granted. He, you know, to a degree, he wanted his cake and now he's got to eat it. That's the truth. You know, you can't fight for something so hard, get it to happen, and then halfway through decide, actually it hasn't really worked out. Let me go somewhere else. So he's bound by his own decisions.
Olivia, Rhaenyra and Damon have the Iron Throne. What can you say about how killing Otto to get there will impact Alicent's actions moving forward?
I mean, this is the first time she's seen Otto in a very long time. He's not been responding to her letters that she's been sent. She doesn't know where he's been. Well, she thought he was in Old Town. So this to her looks like Otto was potentially Rhaenyra's prisoner. And this has been her first, political act as ruler. So I think she feels betrayed by her and feels like I've been a pawn. I've let you have King's Landing and this is what you've done as your first, order.
Is that something they can come back from?
I don't know. Could you, if your best mate killed your dad?
No, it's a thorny question, I know, but it's
I don't know.
That's where the drama rests in this show, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gail, for you, in these first two episodes, it feels kind of like a finale for Alice and Damon's relationship. What do you think about that?
Yeah, totally. It felt like a breakup. I mean, that scene definitely was like, I remember I read it and I was like, break up scene.
Yeah.
Which is so painful, Like Alice, I feel like really opened up to Damon and poured a lot into that relationship. And I do think that she thought she was going to get something out of it. And not that she didn't, but I think she does try to extend herself to him to see if he'll help her, and come through, and he doesn't. And so, yeah, it feels like that is sadly done.
Does it feel like it was a waste of time to her?
I feel like we're talking about a guy. Was it a waste of time? Yes. Like, I think it's like how she would instinctually, emotionally respond. But, she, as we know, Alice Rivers has this like very large, kind of wise, almost like Zen Buddhist like view on the world and on Westeros and on people and on, so I think like the better side of herself would be like, no, it was all for good and it's good that it happened this way. But there's also a human woman part of her that's also like, ouch, 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 ouch.
Aemond meets Alys in a moment of weakness, like he's injured. He asks her for help. I can't imagine that's something that he likes having to do. For both of you, how do you think the nature of this first meeting sets up their dynamic for the rest of the season?
It's love at first sight, It's just...
Well, there's a lot of ambiguity, right? Yeah. It's like, who is really in a power position in this moment? Like, of course, you could be like, yes, Alys is like, has all of her faculties and is like, but she's also still like, Aemond is one of the most powerful warriors in all of Westeros. He could still, is he really that hurt? Like, there's just so many, for me, when I watch it, I'm like, there's a lot of questions there about where this dynamic is going to go.
Mm-hmm. Ewan, what is Aemond feeling in that moment when he first sees her?
I think, I think Aemond goes in with the motivation into Harrenhal. He wants to wipe out everyone there. It's very much this, just this shock and awe moment. He wants to go into that room, wipe everyone out. Simon Russell Beale, who plays Simon Strong, kills everyone in that room. And yet there's this last interlope with this person who he didn't see at first, and being like, oh, maybe he's going there with the intention to kill her as well, or maybe he is genuinely going over there to, beg for help and be at Alice's mercy. And so I love, like you were saying, just that ambiguity and letting it breathe and letting the audience kind of come to the conclusion of where they think this relationship will go.
Yeah, when he killed Simon's character, I went, oh, diva down. I was so upset.
Down, indeed.
Diva down.
R.I.P. Diva of them all.
How do they both feel, and Adam feel, when Corlys gives them the name?
Oh, I mean, I think it's so powerful. It's a real moment of, again, I think previously, if it was attempted to be given in the past, I think Alyn would have rejected it. I think Alyn probably wouldn't have wanted to do anything with it, right? But because of having gone through such a devastating battle, having seen a moment where Corlys was vulnerable with him and said, in the cabin, and said he's sorry for what's happened, to then almost lose him again, and then also see, all of the riches and everything disappear. I think the idea of passing on your name for Alyn in that moment is so much more worth than what it was beforehand. It's literally all someone has. So I think it's such a powerful and weightful moment that Alyn, has to kind of almost shed his own ego and pride to kind of be like, yeah, let's start anew.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's exactly it. Because I think I totally understand what Abu is saying there about had Corlys come and plucked him out of the where they lived maybe a year before, it might not have meant so much. But here he is now, and we have seen that he has nothing now. This is one of the things they said to me when I started on this job. The showrunner said, we're gonna, one of the things about his arc is that we take a man who, when we meet him, he has everything. He's the richest man in Westeros, and we're going to slowly take it all away from him. Well, at that moment in episode 2 of this season, there he is. He's got nothing except his family. But all of the stuff that he symbolized who he was, the buildings and all those trinkets, all those things that he brought back, they're all gone now. So all he has is his identity, his dignity, the work that he's done to make himself who he is. And that's the only gift, which is the best gift I think anyone can give you, really. So yeah, I think that's a major point in their relationship, I think.
Kristen is very dejected and defeatist in the first 2 episodes, and Gwaine is quite disgusted with him and what he's willing to tolerate, like what he witnesses that other soldier doing, and how Kristen does nothing about it. So what can you say about where this new tension will lead for them?
Well, without spoiling too much, I think, that there's a sort of, they come to the literal, actually, as it turns out, crossing of a river, and there's a choice to be made about which way they're going to go. And at that point in the story, they are on breaking point with each other, despite this kind of there's an almost love that simmers underneath it, that is very, very subtle, but very hard and very, but one that's sort of born of the great sorrow of the idea of losing your comrade that you have shared some of the darkest and most difficult moments with. It's real trench warfare stuff. So sort of love and hatred, mixed into one thing.
Can you tease how Gwaine will react to his father's execution? Do you think he would blame his sister at all for this?
I don't think so. I think Gwaine's relationship with his father was so distant, and he grew up in Old Town, and Alicent was taken to King's Landing by Otto, and so he grew up estranged from his father, and yet in some ways admiring what he stood for, wanting to emulate him in some ways, and yet not feeling the force of his affection. And so I think when the news of his death is both enormously painful, but also kind of there's an inertia that surrounds it as well, because he's not someone he ever really knew.
Does Gwaine even think that Aegon should be king, or does he just not want the High Towers to lose?
I think there's a bit of both. I think there is family pride, loyalty. Ultimately, I think what Gwaine wants is it all to stop. And I don't think he thinks that Aegon is particularly suited to rule, regardless of the fact that he's his nephew. I think what he wants is the best person for the job, and whoever that person is, to stop this insanity taking place, and a lot of death.
Does he think that could ever be Aemond?
No.
We talked previously last season about how Larys kind of like moves with the tide in terms of his loyalty. He'll do whatever it takes to stay in a position to protect himself and have some power. With Rhaenyra now taking the throne at the end of episode 2, how might his loyalties change now moving forward?
Well, I think he's still completely bound to Aegon. I think he's rolled the dice, and this is the only shot he has left, really, is Aegon, so it has to succeed.
That'd be so snaky if you went over to Rhaenyra.
That would be awful, wouldn't it? Yeah. Could you imagine? Yeah, I think, but I think he's all in this season.
Yeah, and Tom, how does Ulf feel when he sees Damon?
Well, it's like meeting Sid Vicious or Johnny. It's like meeting a rock star. Like, to Ulf, he is a rock star. He looks at him and he wants to be that. Like, he's a god. Like, he's royalty. He's a rock star. He's the most dangerous man on the planet. And Ulf looks at him and wants to be him. And also, is related to him. Oh my God, you're my brother. You're going to love me. We're going to be brothers. We're going to be best mates. And then meets, and that's not the case at all, because he despises me. And it's quite upsetting to Ulf, actually. I think Ulf wanted this connection, and certainly Matt does not give us that connection. I am told in no uncertain terms I am a piece of dirt on the bottom of his shoe who happens to have a dragon. So I will allow you to be here, but I'm told in no uncertain terms to not get above my station. Yeah. So it's actually like a childish disappointment for Ulf. Like, I thought we were gonna have bunk beds. I thought we were gonna
bunk beds in Westeros.
I thought we were gonna build a den, bruv.
Yeah. Yeah. And Clint, how does Adam feel when Corlys gives him his name?
Oh my God, it changes that's all he's ever wanted in his whole life. Literally all he's ever wanted. But unfortunately, he gets it in the time where everything is falling apart, So it's one of those things where you, be careful what you wish for, but also when he's in that position, it allows him to have a family that he's never had before. With Seasmoke choosing him, and now with Corlys officially choosing him, it's a dream for Adam. It's all he's ever wanted. But now he has to look past that and actually now do a good job for Rhaenyra and be of service for Team Black within the war. So,
Kieran, how might Hugh's loyalty evolve this season?
Well, Hugh's loyalty to Rhaenyra and Damon is it's pretty solid at the beginning because he's basically vouched for them with his wife. So like they have to come good for him. But unfortunately their word, it's not as strong as their actions. You know, they're not really backing up what they're saying with what they're kind of taking us for granted a little. So that does test the loyalty. And actually it's becoming more apparent to all of us that we're actually a little bit more powerful than we thought we were. So yeah, it is going to be tested appropriately.
Yeah, I mean, they all have dragons, so what can you do with them,
like
right?
It's a brand new alchemy chemistry test. It's not like, okay, you've got this now. So where does that put you over there?
It's not just that, it's waking up parts of us as well that have been dormant, you know, that we've pushed away. Certainly in Hugh's experience, he's pushed that part of his Targaryen heritage away to be something else. And actually this is you can't help it. If you have a huge dragon, it's like taking too much Viagra or something. You know, it's gonna happen.
I don't what? I've never experienced.
During
this
the break,
interview just took
during
a
the
left
break
turn.
What? While we were having lunch,
You have a nuclear weapon in between your
This
thighs.
is disgusting.
Sorry.
Yeah, the nuclear weapon.
The nuclear weapon between your legs.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have to wrap there, guys. Thanks so much.
Well, there's your button.
Congrats,
There's your button.
Yeah.